Good morning. Welcome to a Friday morning edition of Mornings with Stanley. Yes, it's still morning. It's 11:15. Went to a funeral this morning. Our children's coordinator's father-in-law passed away. And funeral up in Joshua. The pastor there didn't know who I was. I just said, good, nice service. And he looked at me like, thank you very much. Like he'd never really seen me before. It's like, come on. We serve on a committee together. I guess I've just been out of it in the pandemic. He wasn't expecting to see me there, and so he wasn't thinking we don't know each other. We serve on a committee together. I don't know if I've ever had a conversation. Never shook his hand before today. Anyway. I'm just quiet, Andy. Well, this is Stanley's tail. You can see his tail. Wag your tail, Stanley. Lucy's in Stanley's cage. You can tell when the weather's not great because the dogs, or at least Lucy, is inside. Lucy is an outdoor dog. And it's not hot, it's just windy out there today. Really, really windy. I can't breathe. My nose is all stopped up. I just got all the dust in the air. And so can't sleep at night because I can't breathe. Can't use my CPAP machine because my nose is always stopped up. More information than you want to know. Stanley, I'm going to put you out. I have not given the dogs a walk today. I think Stanley's really wanting one, as Lucy, I'm sure, too. But because of the service this morning, I did do my rowing, but I thought I could take him for a walk and postpone the rowing. But I decided to do, it's kind of like putting your gas mask on before, or your oxygen mask before you put the oxygen mask on the other person. Now I'm going to exercise myself first before I exercise the dogs because I'm selfish. Here is our reading for Friday of week 40. Triumphing over them in him. He disarmed the principalities and the powers and made a public example of them, triumphing over them in him. This is Colossians 2:15. The marginal reading says, in it, the cross. Whether it was in him or in the cross, it is the same. He triumphed over these powers in the cross. These principalities and powers represented the hierarchies of beings in Hebrew and Gnostic thought. He stripped them of their powers, disarmed them at the cross. Two great powers joined in crucifying Jesus, the power of religion, represented by the high priest, and the power of the state, represented by Pilate and his Roman officers and soldiers. He disarmed them both, made a public showing of them. By our law, he ought to die. Jesus replied by abolishing the law. If you let this man go, you are no friend of Caesar's. Jesus replied by abolishing Caesar, made himself Lord and King. He did this masterfully and simply. They asserted themselves. He surrendered himself. They offered sacrifice to God and to Caesar. He abolished both by himself, becoming the sacrifice. Then that sacrifice became final power. The keepers were like dead men. He arose before their eyes and left them disarmed. A dramatist puts it this way, saying through the centurion to Mary at the cross, Woman, I tell you, this dead son of yours, shamed, spit upon, has built a kingdom this day that will shake into dust the kingdoms founded on blood and fear. Something has happened on this hilltop this day that will never die. The meek, the terrible meek, the fierce, agonizing meek are about to enter their inheritance. He was right. The cross towers o'er the wrecks of time. The wrecks are stripped. He stands girded to control the future. There is no alternative. It is Christ or chaos. He rules or we ruin. If love will not rule us, hate will rubble us. He lives. All else dies. Just think of Ukraine and the rubble that is being created there through the evil of one man and his army. He is anti-Christian, and so are his supporters. Here's our prayer for today. O Jesus, Lord and Conqueror, we thank you that your conquest is our conversion. We are put into the dust to rise to the highest heaven. We are beneath your feet and beside you on your throne. We are conquered and we conquer in you. Amen. Our affirmation for the day: triumphing over them in him. Today I determine the content of them. May it be all. Jesus is Lord.